everyone, and welcome to episode 92 of This Week at Shrouded. I'm your host, AGreener. Today we have with us Thunder, Dunk, and Misterwrecked. Thanks for being here.
Ciao.
Hi.
Those are great. Those are great. Thank you. I love it. I'm a little under the weather. If you can't hear my voice, you can definitely see it in the camera. But we're going to power through and talk about Destiny this week because there's a little bit of stuff to actually talk about, unlike the last couple weeks. Obviously, we're going to talk about Act 3 dropping, the exotic mission, the exotic shotgun, any of the new Act 3 stuff, the weapons, the crappy perks. No, I wouldn't say that. And then, of course, the TWID that dropped with mostly everything I just said, plus some Festival of the Lost voting options for everybody, which the internet is talking about quite a bit. So that's it. Let's go ahead and get started. There's no cat pictures in the TWID, whatever it's called. I forget now. The TWID, This Week in Destiny. So I'm really upset about that. We should just give up now. I'm just kidding. All right. So since I've been sick, I have not been playing video games at all this week. So I'm going to let you, Wrecked, I'm sure that you are, has everybody played the exotic mission?
Yeah, who's played the exotic mission up in here?
Me.
All right. You guys can all talk about it while I listen.
Have you played it? Did you guys finish all your stuff for the gun?
You can go first, Dunk.
So I've played all three versions of it. I have not gotten everything for the gun, but I have everything ready to go. So that all I have to do is launch into expert.
Pretty much same thing for me. I did all of Act 3 story, and I haven't even touched expert mode yet.
All right. Well, I've got all the stuff done, so I've experienced everything the mission has to offer. What are your guys' thoughts on this mission compared to the other exotic missions I have out there? God, on my screen, it's just 4 of me. I gotta reload. Hold on.
All right.
Here we go.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed the exotic mission. I thought it felt really short, like surprisingly short.
Did you get to the end when you beat the boss and you're like, wait, what? What?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. It felt pretty satisfying on the third and final completion to see it over with. But I don't know. It just went by super, super fast. I felt really overpowered in there. I mean, granted, it's not expert, so I'm sure expert will feel a little bit more challenging. But I don't know. I just tore through each and every single one of the bosses.
Yeah, pretty much same thing for me. The first one I did was with me, someone else who hadn't done it, and a guy who had done it. And by the time we killed, it was like the second boss that leads into the final room. He said we're almost done. I was like, oh wow, that's really short. But I do like that because whatever the last mission was called was way too long. So I like that they made it shorter. Is it a little too short? Sure, you can make that argument, but I like it over the last mission. It's way better to actually play.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Yeah, it's definitely, there are probably some things like traversal sections that could have been a little bit longer, maybe a little bit more puzzle-like with the piano at the beginning. But overall, it was a decent exotic mission.
Yeah, it's probably middle of the pack for me. I don't mind it.
Yeah, not the greatest for sure, but also not the worst.
My thing is also, yes, you can get all the stuff, on day one, but you still have to play the mission, a minimum of 3 or 4 times, whatever. Playing Encore, even though it was... I think that's what the mission's called, right? Encore? The acquired one? Yeah, okay. Playing that again, having to do it 3 or 4 times, even though it was, once a week or whatever, after about 2 times, it felt like ancient Aztec torture methods to play that mission over and over again. Yeah. I've already done 3 runs of the new one in a span of 2 days, and it's been pretty enjoyable all 3 times, so that's my favorite part of it.
Fun fact, you only actually have to do it twice to unlock all the stuff done.
Yeah, but I'm not min-maxing, I'm just kind of doing what the quest tells me.
You go in there with somebody who's already done everything, you can do it all in a single pass.
Oh, okay, so I just literally just kind of did what the quest told me. I didn't do any of that.
Yeah, and I just did it all by myself.
Yeah, I did the
So-
first run with 2 people, and then after seeing how easy it is, I just soloed the last 2 runs. I'll probably solo expert mode as well.
Cool.
It's an exotic mission that I am not going to bother playing anymore. I did not find it particularly enjoyable. It was cool the first time around. The organ is interesting. I'm not a huge fan of fighting bosses that we've already fought like 37 times already. And I thought it was a little too short. Like I thought it ends too abruptly.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, it's still an exotic mission, and the only 2 I actually like enjoy playing for just fun and not just to get the stuff is the first 2, Whisper and Outbreak. The other ones, I get the stuff and then I'm done. I'll never play.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I will never play this mission again once I have all the stuff. But it's fun for while I have to play it.
There's something about the first 2 when you're doing them on expert and your time sometimes feels like it's short, especially 0 hour, that makes it more enjoyable. I know a lot of people don't like those missions because of the timer on them, because they have a hard time getting through everything. But I don't know. Timer on those missions is what makes them more fun than they would have been otherwise for me personally.
It makes it feel like they have some sort of stake to them, right? Because even if you do just relaunch from orbit, and you don't have to travel to the farm and go down to the basement and all that. Still, there's a little bit of stake to it. That's why once I figured out the first encounter of Vesper, once I figured out you could just skip it, I haven't done that encounter legit probably since the first week of the dungeon being out. It was super fun in contest mode because of the 3 or whatever minute timer, but I also don't plan on ever doing that encounter again unless I'm teaching someone, just because encounter sucks without a timer.
Anybody listen to all the voice lines and follow the story along for the season as it connects to Kell's Fall?
Nope.
Yes and no. Yes, and that originally I did, but I don't remember a lot of it because it's so spread out.
Yeah, all right. So it boils down to this. Vic Roll is a prepubescent teenager who is raging against his dad and just wants to prove his dad wrong. I mean, that's it. It's just a fucking zombie fallen having a fucking tantrum. Anyway.
Yeah,
I
the only thing I
personally-
didn't skip. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I personally thought the whole thing was kind of weak on it, but I think the story for this episode is weak to begin with anyway.
Yeah. The only thing I didn't skip across the entire episode was just the finale cutscene, but I didn't even have audio. I literally had Spotify and I didn't even hear it. I just saw the visuals and read the subtitles. Oh, cool. I still don't really understand what happened. I know Misterwrecked or whatever his name is the Kells now, but that's about all I understand, really.
Yeah, so from what I understand of it, Aramis, obviously she has the Echo now. Spoiler alert. And she used it to cleanse Mithrax of Nezarex's curse. That's it.
Okay,
Yep.
I didn't know he even had Nezarex's curse.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I mean, if you just watch that cutscene there, and you'll see in the background on the wall, you'll see
I saw him talk
Nezarex's
about a
form.
curse, but I had no idea what that was talking about or what that.
Yeah,
meant.
no, you actually see Nezarec as a shadow behind.
Okay, I didn't notice it was Nezarec. I thought it was just his shadow. I was oh, that's
oh
cool.
no, yeah. For a little bit there, it was full on Nezarec, and then the Echo is used, and it goes down into just being his shadow.
I have one gripe for this axe content as it relates to I guess it relates to to Kell's Fall, just because it all leads to doing Kell's Fall 3 times. I know they're let's take out the fetch quests and whatever, but why do I need to run to a holo projector to talk to Ido, then actually talk to Ido, who's standing right there, then go run to a book to talk to Ido, who I was literally just standing in front of, and then I got to run over to Spider's place, but not to Spider's place, to a ghost sitting outside Spider's place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I don't understand, man.
I feel like they did take out the fetch quests because we whined about it enough, but they didn't really like plan, anything around doing that. So they kind of took out the stuff we complained about, but left in all of the, running to holo projectors and shit, which I prefer that over fetch quests. Like I would gladly run between 3 different holo projectors if it means I don't have to go, do bounties unironically. So
Well,
eh.
not having to go do like busy work. Yeah, I totally get it. It's certainly better just to run around one zone.
Yeah, but you
But
want actual stuff to do instead of doing that. I get your point, but
It's not even that.
It's
I
still an
just want
improvement.
I want the content delivered in a way to me that makes sense. If you're gonna just have me do some exposition shit, fine.
Or if you're just gonna lore dump me, don't make me don't make me run to 4 different areas to lore dump me. Just give me one fucking 20-minute cutscene that I can skip and then call it a day.
Especially when the person I'm talking to is literally standing right in front of me right now when you give me the quest.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
so
doesn't
like
make no
talk to
sense.
Ido in the holo projector, like, oh, the holo projector is literally 3 feet away from Ido, but sure, man.
Yeah. It's like, oh, hey, you talk to Ido, and then it's like, talk to Ido at holo projector. I'm like, huh? Why? Why would
Yeah.
you do that?
Now talk to Ido on the radio, but the radio is a book.
Yep. Oh, and
Also,
by
it's
the way, it's now
funny.
outside.
I also think it's funny. I guess spoiler, but the final step, there's 2 optional things you can do: talk to the crow and talk to Spider. Instead of talking to Spider, who's in the area you're in, and you go over to his little his shed or whatever, they make you go to a random holo projector thing in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. And while Crow isn't in the area with you, you could have, I don't know, like maybe fly to the tower, talk to him. Like it would have been cool, I guess. But now it's just like literally a random feather on a bench. Okay, I'm talking to Crow now. That makes no sense, but sure, man.
Yeah. All right. That's all I got. That really irritated me having to run around to talk to the same person to 3 different locations in the same fucking zone.
Yeah,
It's so dumb.
Some things I have on the mission though that I like is the not health gating the bosses. While yes, it means I could like do a single grapple melee and one shot the boss, which I may or may not have done in the last run I did. I still prefer that over having like the fucking Tormentor and whatever the other guy was in Encore that you had to like swap between 6 times. That shit was AIDS. I'm sorry. I hated that so much. If I can, 1 or 2 shot a boss, that's fine as long as I don't have to, do the same boring mechanics 6 times just because the game forces me to.
I mean, I don't mind if there's health gating on the boss if there's an actual mechanic to do.
If it's fun to do, yeah,
in
but not when
between.
it's again literally 6 like mini phases of like just basically chasing them down and then doing damage. That just isn't fun.
No,
Yeah,
I agree.
I understand.
You know,
Yeah.
the one thing that I did enjoy in this exotic mission was the scorned organist or whatever his name is.
The Skorgan. That's the
Yep.
actual name for it.
Yep.
The
Yeah,
Scorgonist.
Yeah. That was actually a fun little boss fight. I mean, granted, it was still kind of health gated by the Tormentor spawning in, but it was still a nice little fun way to just complete something real quick. Granted, I did it without actually having the correct, what's it called, field work from Ido, but it was fun.
Yeah, and another thing also is the mirror room was cool. I wish they would have done a little bit more, especially in like the I guess second boss fight where you have to like I mean it is health gated, but like you have to go like in between the mirror room and the real room and activate the fire things to open up the one door over in the corner.
Yeah.
It's cool, yeah, but I wish they could have done more because like especially once I know where everything is, I'll be out of there in like 30 seconds. At least now I still have to like look around for a little bit, but I wish they could have done a little bit more. Granted, it is a mission, so they can't really do much, but it would have been cool to see something else.
Yeah. Agreed. All right.
All right.
There you go, AGreener.
Lovely. What do you think of the actual shotgun itself?
I haven't used it because I watched Dado's video and I think it was Ass Cross, and they basically both said it's mid. It's in the God Clear shotgun lol. So
Yeah.
I'll get the stuff right. I'll probably throw in Cascade Point in case it ever becomes good for like boss damage. But besides that,
I
I'll
know
probably
this is
never
going to be
use it.
shocking, but it launched bugged.
I know. I was going to mention that. Yeah, the overload doesn't even work on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The flechettes are supposed to cause overload. Are supposed
And they
to
don't.
count as overload.
Well,
and
they
don't.
they do the initial stun right, but you can't like keep it. You can't keep it stunned after that. It starts to just
Yep.
regen no matter how many times you shoot it.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it might as well not even be a thing. Now, I will say that it is actually pretty good in PvP. You can get 11-meter kills on it, just like any slug. and it does give you wall hacks. It's only 3 seconds of wall hacks, but wall hacks in PvP are always strong. So
Yeah, I think his issue in PvP is even comparing it to like another, exotic slug shotgun. It's good, yeah. Its ceiling's pretty high, but Chaperone is like just has like a longer one shot range, and slug shotgun users aren't very like common. Like there's definitely good ones, but not a lot of people are using slug shotties. So yeah, its ceiling's pretty high. And then in PvE, again, just an adequate shotty doesn't really interest me. It looks fun with the projectiles and the artifact being, tailored around it. But especially once the artifact's gone and there's nothing to really booster it, I don't know. I already have no interest as it is, but I'll probably never use it.
Yeah. So, I mean, the one thing that could be going for it is the fact that it does weaken enemies, which is kind of a nice thing to have. Like, previously, you only had, like, Tractor Cannon and Divinity. Um, and don't get me wrong, those are still great exotics. I use them regularly. But, like, it's nice to have a little bit more range so that you can kind of stay back if you just want it that quick weaken. But again, it's not something I would go to and just outright use. I'd still use other forms of weakening,
Yeah.
like putting on a grenade as a Titan and just throwing it, and they're weakened now.
Or especially in the
Congratulations.
same episode where we got a perk that literally its whole purpose is just doing wither or what's the
Yeah.
the debuff called?
I know what you're talking
Weaken. That's what it is. We literally have a perk called Withering Gaze that literally
Withering
just
Gaze.
does weaken, and you can get it on a sniper. So like that perk kind of just kills the whole weaken part of it for me. Because why would I weaken
Yeah.
with a shotgun when I could weaken with a sniper?
I mean, you
Exactly,
can get it on
yeah.
you can get on Glacio with a timer that matches the fire rate of your Glacio. So
Exactly.
Yeah. The only real time it would be useful is if using a sniper wasn't a viable solution for DPS. But even then, again, you probably go for Tractor Cannon over that because it's an instant.
Yeah, if you're gonna
Debuff
weaken with a shoddy, why not just have literally a like double the debuff with Tractor?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, cool idea. Could be potentially useful in a future time, but also at the same time, probably not.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with like because there's definitely like weapons in Destiny. There's certain echelons. Like there's like the stuff that's like meta for lack of a better word or just good, and then there's like fun weapons. Because like Slayer's Fang, it's not good really like for higher end content, but it's fun. Like if I want to have fun, I'll pull it out. But it's not it's just another fun weapon. But most seasonal weapons end up kind of being fun weapons anyway.
how about that new rocket launcher? Where some people are still arguing with me that double quick draw is faster than just quick draw.
Yeah, I haven't gotten a double quick draw, but I don't know. I just saw the frame and immediately dismantled it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's double quick draw. It doesn't do anything extra. All it does is set your handling at 100.
Yeah, and I mean it would be at best case scenario like a surge matching weapon, but the chill inhibitor exists, so I wouldn't even really care about a stasis rocket launcher nowadays. If I get like a god, I'll probably keep it just to have it, but like I'm not gonna farm for it.
Well, I mean, I know they're changing this now, but farming for the 2 new weapons, if you were interested in the scout or the rocket, are at the moment booty cheeks because the rate at which you get the stuff to make the tonics, it was only set at 1 per entire run. Period. That was it. The most you could get, 1. They're gonna change that so that you can get it from like every encounter or whatever, but probably the most miserable farm in the game for any of the seasonal weapons, if you ask me, just because it'd be so hard to make the tonics.
Yeah, I farmed for a few of the seasonal weapons. Like having hell in the season pass, there was the special GL that was, kind of what I was looking for. There's another one I don't remember the name of. Bittersweet. I farmed for that thing. I was gonna go for a grid skipper, and then I realized you had to use the tonic system, and it like doesn't even work properly. I guess so. I was like, yeah, no, I'm good. I just completely skipped on a grid skipper because I hate the tonic system, man. I think it's horrible, and I don't want to use it.
I mean, it works now, and you can if you're on team, do it efficiently. There is a method to do it. The Golgoroth maze that doesn't break any rules or anything, but you can farm 20 of them in an hour. It's just boring, right? Because
Yeah.
you're just sitting there letting radial area transposer kill things for you.
It's also the fact that it's a kinetic pulse rifle. Like, yes, it's probably the best one. Blast Furnace is not that far behind it. So I don't care enough to go do it.
Cool. Great job talking, everybody. I love it.
Thanks, dude.
And you're just like, are we done yet? I'm sick. I want to go sleep.
No. If I really didn't want to do this today, I wouldn't have. But I knew that I wouldn't have a lot to contribute because when I haven't been working this week, I've been sleeping. So there was no destiny involved. Anyway, so I knew I'd be relying on everybody else. So I was going to ask you about obviously the Pulse and the rocket launcher. I did see about the rocket launcher dropping with dual quick draw, which I thought was funny. And people are arguing with you that it draws faster. I mean, that'd be pretty easy to determine.
People, stop coping. Your double quick draw rocket launcher is garbage. It's not giving you anything extra. Stop trying to argue that it's somehow making it faster to pull out and aim down sights. It doesn't. You're an idiot. Stop it. Get some help.
I never thought I'd enjoy a 7-year-old man whispering in my ear, but that was kind of nice.
Did you say 70-year-old man?
I was waiting for that.
Imagine I make it to 70. Holy shit.
You're like a few years off, man. You got it.
Okay. All right. That'd be pretty easy to prove anyway. You know, just pull it out, slow motion, compare the frames.
Bro, it's just people who have no clue how perks work in this game.
God.
Yeah. Okay.
I just looked at light.gg for the rocket. 66% of rolls are the double quick draw one right now.
Yeah, because that's what people are holding on to, because they're idiots.
That's crazy that they're holding on to that. Okay. Anyway, and then yeah, you were talking about or you weren't. Sorry, the Stasis Scout. Anything special about this bad boy?
No, not really.
No. Yeah. I'm looking
I mean,
at the perks.
if you
right
want
now.
one, if you are on the Headstone plus Rhyme Stealer, camp, I guess there's a reason to have it, but
There's a bunch of weapons that do that though. So.
there's no perk combination that makes it a particularly good scout for PvP, in my opinion. And like at some point in my Destiny career, I stopped caring about scouts for PvE unless they had shoot to loot. Because if I'm going to be sitting back that far, I want to be able to pick up the ammo that's dropping, and if I can't, then I don't care. So
my thing with primary, like, or more kinetic slot primaries, right, is I, not including like shoot to loot, obviously, I really only keep like one of each. So I have like one kinetic pulse, which is a blast furnace. I have a Randy's throwing knife for scouts. I have a midnight coup for hand cannons. Maybe I have a fate bringer sitting there as well, maybe. But like, I just don't really care to have. I'd rather just have the best option, and I don't really care about anything else. It's like, even if this, the red tape was decent, if it's not better than Randy's throwing knife, I just simply don't care. I'm not going to go get it just because it's a, kinetic slot primary, which I will most likely never use.
even if you're somebody that is, that stores things away, not that you're like a super hoarder, but that you like to keep stuff of different elements, and different archetypes, it just doesn't, it's not any better than like a Persis D. I would rather have a Persis D because it's got explosive payload and shoot to loot on a stasis. So, it's got some utility that's useful in PvE for me personally. I'm not going to be using like a Headstone Demolitionist roll on a scout rifle because I'm not up in the fight when I'm using it. So,
man, I think a single good stasis perk could like feed families. I'm not going to lie. Like, all of them suck.
Yeah. It's fair.
I don't even know what Rhyme Stealer does. I think it has something to do with like frost armor, but
Rhyme Stealer gives you frost armor whenever you break crystals. And
I guess
I will
Chokelim's
also
pretty good if we count
I will
that.
also point out that we got a new World Scout that comes with Headstone and Rhyme Stealer.
I saw that Live Fire, I think it's called.
Yeah, it's Live Fire. We already got that this season as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just better too.
Oh, it's a 180 versus a 200. If you really are into lightweight frames, maybe you would rather have the new one, but I don't know. seems like a waste of time to me personally.
There you have it, chat. Don't.
Thunder, I'm just gonna say this right now. Sorry, Thunder. I've committed a cardinal sin. I deleted my Randy's throwing knife.
I mean, again, to be fair, it's a kinetic slot scout, which I will probably never use, but that's just, in my opinion, I like throwing knife the best. While it is annoying to farm because PvP, like,
Yeah.
besides that, like hung jury, sure, but I mean that's really the only two options. To be fair, it's hung jury or throwing knife. I feel like.
Yep. No, I agree, and I don't have it, and I'm now sad about that. I had a great roll of it, and apparently I deleted it.
Rip.
Oh,
Yeah.
I definitely have like 40 probably in my vault. So
Oh, yeah? Can I get one of those?
hey, I'm sure you can.
I actually need to
I'm-
clean out my vault. I'm at like
I'm-
670.
How do you only have? No, whatever. I don't know.
No, my vault's
Yeah,
only at
I don't know.
340.
Mine's
My
at
vault's sitting-
689.
Mine's sitting somewhere around 600.
My problem is I just keep infusion fuel, like even after the things. I probably still have infusion fuel from Lightfall sitting around in there. I gotta go delete. I don't clean out my vault until I like basically max it out.
Me too. And it's always exotic armor for me. Like as I get exotic armor drops or I have to clear out exotic Ingrams, I don't even look at the rolls. I just throw them in my vault and eventually I'll go look at them all at one time and clear out the stuff that's not good.
Yeah, I pretty much only keep high quality items and infusion fuel, so I'd say probably half my vault's just infusion fuel. If I'm, again,
I used to
a
have that
year or
same
two ago.
problem, but I started setting things up so that I would only ever keep 9 pieces of like infusion fuel for weapons for any one category. Like they have to be able to fit in the inventory of a character I'm not currently using. And if I get more, I just delete them. Otherwise, I used to find that my vault would just get full of trash and it was only there so I could infuse something someday.
Yeah, I just
Oh.
kind of threw infusion fuel in there, and like usually in like a certain slot, I'll kind of like right now I have like a shit ton of energy slot infusion fuel, so I'm like, oh yeah, I already have a bunch of that, so I'm actually just gonna delete this. But like, if I were to get a heavy weapon, I don't have much in heavy weapons, so I'll just throw it in there.
I'm literally sitting on 12 rake angles that I'm not going to use. Just
Holy
20
shit, let me
again.
go count mine. Let me go count mine. Hold on, dude. I actually ran like 20 of the GMs the other night. I have. Hold on, sorry, I miscounted. I have 23 rake angles in my vault right now.
Holy fuck.
And I have 15 wild styles as well.
That's crazy.
I've got a bunch of dog shit because I put everything in my vault and then I go back later and look at it to see if it's any good. That's just the way I do things. And ironically, like I keep way too many like exotic armors. Like I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Omnionoculuses in my vault right now. Like why?
That are masterworked or just ones you've collected and have thrown in there?
3 of them are masterwork. So 6 of them aren't. They're just sitting in there for no reason. They're probably not even that high. Oh well, 66, 65. See, there's a 62. Like, why is that in there? There's no need for a 62. 67.
There's nothing wrong with
65,
keeping like a 60
67.
roll if the
60.
couple of
Yeah,
spikes
yeah.
you want are in the right spot. That's all I care about.
Yeah, I
So-
keep the best roll of each exotic, like for all of them. Like the best roll, even if it's shit ass exotic, I'll never use. I just keep the best roll in case they buff
Yep.
it or something,
Me
and then the rest
too.
is just infusion fuel.
There are a couple of exotics that I'll keep a couple of different rolls for, but that's it. Like they had to be ones where I want to make a specific build or something, and then I need stats to be a certain way. That's the
Yeah,
only
like-
time I might keep an extra one.
I only use Fellwinter's helm for like solo content, like stuff like
Mhm.
that. But I have I think it's like a 73 roll in there, just because I only keep the best one I have.
Yeah, no, I periodically once I get through it, and then I'll go through it. I'll use like the dims like stat. They have stat like base stat, mobility plus resilience plus recovery plus discipline greater than 55, and it'll show you everything that you have. That's like that does that all those things add up to over that amount, and then I'll go through and delete everything that doesn't equal it. That was just a random number. Like,
yeah,
that's actually.
I do have
That's why
45
I do go
exotic
for it.
class items.
I have a lot of those as well. Not
I got-
45.
I was really lucky on my rolls with them. I pretty much got what I wanted like almost immediately. But also, I only went for a single roll in all 3 classes. Just like I went for all the meta ones, and then I don't really care about like the fun ones.
Yeah, well, I got all the meta ones. Listen, I was one of those degenerate bot farmers, so I got them all pretty quickly. But I also kept the fun rolls, right? And I haven't even used exotic class items on my prismatic characters in a fucking minute. Let me tell you that much.
Yeah,
I've gone back to using regular exotics on most of them because the function I need is better on the regular
I'm just
exotic.
not like a huge build crafter. I have like a build for each subclass. So like I have like a Void Titan and a fucking Arc Warlock laying around. But like once I have at least one build for each subclass, I really don't care much beyond that.
I have 39 relativisms. My fault.
But that's the Warlock one? No, that's the Hunter one.
No, that's the Hunter one. And the only one I use is like Assassin's Lyre.
Yeah, I have 2. I have a Syntheseps one, and then I have another one that's just there for no reason.
I do have a Syntheseps Caliban that I use as well. But yeah, Assassin's Lyre, Caliban, Syntheseps, and that's basically it.
Yeah, I was gonna do Solo Caretaker back when the Hunter Grapple shit was around, but I got lazy and didn't end up doing it.
Yeah.
I do have
Greener's the same way. He had the class item he needed to do the 1,000,000 damage punch on the first boss of the dungeon, but then he didn't even put the fucking exotic on when he was trying to do it.
All right, calm down. All right, yeah. Wait, I didn't have the exotic on?
No, you didn't even have the exotic class item
Bro,
on.
it was like
You were
4
using
a.m.
You were using like your assassin and Liar's one, not the one you needed.
Lyre should be just as strong as Syntheseps. I don't know.
Yeah, man.
Shouldn't it? I don't know. It's close enough.
You are not a Titan main, my friend.
No, I'm not. I don't do Titan at all. Well, how much does that cross punch do in terms of damage as opposed to the Syntheseps?
Well, they nerfed it at the beginning of like the episode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they like killed that shit because it was one-shotting fucking subjugators and witness, so they just nerfed the shit out of it.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Syntheseps at one time was 300% melee damage simply for having a group of ads around.
I want to say Lyre's was like 125. I could be. I'm just kind of pulling that number out of my ass, but that sounds about right. I only really used it when I was doing solo witness attempts.
Yeah.
I haven't really used it casually.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, I've got a lot of them. Was my point, I suppose.
All right. Should we get into the TWID? I feel like there's only really one thing to talk about in there.
Well, unless you don't want to talk about the perks.
There's the artifact perks and there's the costumes. But the costumes, I don't even know if it's worth talking about them other than to say whether or not you like the designs or not, since we know we're getting all of them regardless.
We could probably start an argument about it.
Yeah, let's see who everyone likes. But first, why don't you talk about the artifact perks?
Okay.
And if any of them are any good.
I think column 1 is probably the best of the bunch. Having 1 energy grenade mods is great. It's too bad it's only going to be for 4 weeks. Makes build crafting a lot fucking easier, let me tell you that. I think the rest of these are fine. They build into Devour. The second one gives you bonus reload and handling while you have Devour active. That's always helpful. The column 4 one, if Devour is active, your weapon final blows create void breaches, which is actually good because creating void breaches, like if you're running prismatic, isn't always the easiest thing to do. gotta be running void weapons to do it, and a void super at the same time in order to make it happen. Column 3 gives you armor charge for picking up special or heavy bricks. The rate is 33% for special. So every third brick, basically, you're going to get an armor charge. It's 50-50 on the heavy bricks to get an armor charge. And then column 5 is interesting because column 5 is a perk that when you watch the trailer for this act, made it look like it was an exotic perk on the shotgun. Kill up after picking up a void breach and then using a void weapon to damage somebody. It opens up a portal in the sky above them, and like these void bolts come raining out of it, which is exactly what the shotgun looked like it was doing in the trailer. Alas, the shotgun does not do that. I thought this perk was going to be really cool, but having now playing around with it on a build in expert onslaught salvation, it either doesn't really do any damage or the shit just misses entirely when it comes out of the sky. Like, I thought it was going to be fun, but I feel like it's all show and no substance.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah, okay.
I think obviously like 3 of the 5 new ones are just for like the shotgun. So I mean that's fine. You know, it makes sense. The artifacts built around the exotic weapon. While that doesn't really interest me much, the grenade one, I mean, you know, there's nothing wrong with having cheap grenade mods. Like, why not? Yippee! I do think the Finders Keepers, the ammo one, it seems bad, but for very niche stuff like solo content, that could be useful. Like I made me think of Solo Explicator, being able to get armor charge really easily, like just picking up ammo, especially after like a phase, that actually seems really nice. Again, that is super niche, but I feel like for stuff like that, it's actually kind of it's cool.
I feel like it'd also be useful, like if you're like running Aeons or you're running like a special finisher. This allows you to
Make ammo for yourself, yeah.
It allows you to make ammo for yourself, but also automatically get that armor charge back. Because I don't know if you guys remember, you used to be able to use like special finisher and the finisher having another mod, so the finisher also gave you armor charge back, so you could infinitely loop, being able to generate special. So this is getting you closer to being able to do that again. So if you're like running a double special build, this is certainly going to be helpful, right?
Yeah.
Make sure you're in ammo all the time.
Lethanim or whatever the special grenade launcher is called.
Yeah.
You could farm armor charge theoretically off that because you can just shoot like a immune boss or something and just make it take a long ass time. But if you don't have a siphon on or any way to make orbs in your solo, just kind of pull out a Lethanim and shoot just some random mob, and you could make armor charge off that. Again, super niche, but it could be useful.
Yep. Dunk, got any thoughts on any of this?
No, I agree. I mean, the perks aren't the best in the world. I do like the grenade. That's fun. I could definitely give some good build crafting there.
It let me fit in a third Ashes to Assets on my my Skull of Dire Ahamkara build. All right, so I'm pretty happy about that.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Definitely the best one in the entire group. I do feel like a couple of the Devour ones could be built in really well as well. But again, 4 weeks, as you said. So 4 weeks to enjoy, and then it's all gone.
And I do think we are past the days of having artifact mods to kind of break the game, or if there are any ones like all the sniper ones for the whatever the golden gun sniper is called. There was like 3 or 4 of them that stacked together to make it really, really good. But like the best mod this season is probably concussive reload, which is just grenade launchers weekend. Besides that, it's all either the old crafty ones, or it again feeds into whatever like the exotic mission weapon is. So I think we are just kind of past the days of having shit like Part of the Flame to just break the game.
Breach and Clear, or what was the one for fusion rifles?
That's what's up in my tongue. I don't
Y'all know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Particle reconstruction.
There it goes, yeah. We're kind of past those days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shame. Let's break the game.
All right.
When the
they just
game's
gotta bring back
broken,
Solo Op. That's all you gotta do is bring Solo Op back and the game will be destroyed. That's all we need.
Yeah, we just have to let Telesta run its course again.
Low key, solo operator should be available in every single artifact. Period.
I mean that's a little crazy, but I think it'd just make it fun. It makes solo content. Well, it balances it out because the -5 made solo content like a little less enjoyable for me. But if they brought back solo op, that'd be kind of dope.
It
Listen.
should just be that should just be default, like activated if you're not in a fire team for any content in the game.
I don't mind if you have to give up something in order to have it, but so long as there's stuff elsewhere in the game where you have to do some harder solo content in order to get whatever the thing is. Some people care about being Guardian rank 11. So why not just throw them a bone and give them solo op every time as an option?
I think it's unrealistic, but I do agree. It'd be really dope if we had this permanent, or just bring back solo op for a long after like 2 or 3 seasons in a row. That'd be really, really cool.
Should just be a permanent buff. That would make it even easier.
Yeah.
Don't even need a artifact for that. Why not?
I don't want Bungie to try coding that into the game permanently. Who knows what they'll break?
Yeah, because another thing I think of is if they do that and they start balancing bosses around solo op being a thing, and then they said, "Hey, we're going to remove solo op because why not?" Lol. Then that could be an issue.
We're going to start giving dungeon bosses 15% more health because that's what they need right now.
Yeah. Right. How about they just make it a column 1 perk so that way you can get it immediately, and then you're good.
Yeah. To be fair, Wrecked, like, yes, bosses have a metric shit ton of health nowadays, but also, like, the only teams who are really struggling to hit those damage numbers are teams who don't really know how to damage well in the first place. Like, a team of 3 or 6 people who know how to somewhat damage a boss can 2 or 3 phase pretty much any boss in the game. That's not really, like, much of an issue.
There's a lot of those teams out there, Thunder. More than I mean, you Sherpa people. You actually know.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, the whole, boss having 30 million health thing is like, yes, it's, I mean, yeah, sure, there's a little bit of back to it, but I don't know.
It only really matters for solo players. Like, a dungeon boss having, like, as much health as Vesper's host boss doesn't really matter for a group. It only really matters for the solo who's like, I can totally do these mechanics, but I don't want to be here for 6 phases or 5 phases or whatever it's going to take them to be, Yeah, I've told the story a million times. Like, I've done Ghost of the Deep solo multiple times up until the final boss. And even though I know I could do the mechanics solo for Ghost of the Deep, doing solo flawless, like, I just can't be bothered to do that many phases of it because that boss has so much health on top of her fucking shield. It's just, I can't do it.
I feel like there's just kind of hard to balance it, because if you balance it for the solo players to not want to kill themselves while running it, you then have people doing 3 or 2 mans. They just like nuke the boss instantly, and that's not really much of a fight. But again, it's like the trade-off is you have solo players having to do 4 or 5 phases. But to your point, if they brought back solo op as like a permanent thing, maybe they could work around that. I don't really know what the answer is, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody should be expected to be doing 8 phases, which is what a lot of people had to do on Ghost of the Deep boss when they were solo.
To be fair, while a solo raid boss is way harder because of having to do mechanics, when I can, comfortably solo Nezarec in 3 phases, but have to do, like, for my solo Flawless Vesper, I had to do, I think it was 5 phases for the final boss. I feel like I don't know, I feel like that's not completely right.
Yeah, well,
that's not right.
Doing a solo dungeon should be a test of your ability, of your skill at mastering mechanics by yourself. I feel like by the 3rd time you've gone through the Vesper's host boss by yourself and haven't died, you've demonstrated that you've mastered the mechanics solo. And keep in mind,
the 5 phase I did on Warlock I purposely traded having a harder second encounter to have an easier or not even easier, just to be able to kill the final boss faster. Because I started running on Titan and I was like, okay, I could do this, but final boss is going to take me like a good 7 or 8 phases. Like, I'm just going to do Warlock. Like, yes, the rest of it will be horrible, but I will hopefully be able to do a 4 phase final boss, which ended up being a 5 because I fucked up, but still. The fact that I literally made it harder on myself just to make final boss not take as long, and it was still I still think I have like a 30 or 40 minute encounter just because of, how many damage pieces you have to do. I feel like, again, something not right with that.
Yeah, agreed.
Wild. I forgot what I was going to talk about next.
The fashion
costumes?
and the twid, probably.
Okay.
Festival of
yep.
Lost voting.
Sure. Why not? Let's bring it up. See what everyone's favorite stuff is. Na, 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 na. All right. There we go. Okay. So we have 2 different sets. Slashers versus the Spectres this year. You can vote. Just like we do every year. But it did. You guys said we're getting both of them. Hold on. When does it say though?
So we are already getting the other wizard sets back that we didn't get voted on. So that's telegraphing that we're going to get everything eventually anyway. Bungie is
okay.
going to sell us everything. That's what it is.
We're just voting
Right.
on what we get first.
All right, fair enough. All right, so the slashers, we got a Jason Titan, a Ghostface Hunter, and I don't even.
It's a
I know
Scarecrow,
this
man.
is it's a Scarecrow, but what slasher is he in?
I
Look
mean,
it up real quick.
there's a number of monster movie franchises that have
Scarecrows as the
pumpkin.
as
They
the
have
slasher?
pumpkin-headed monsters
All right.
as the
There's-
enemy. Pumpkinhead being one of them.
All right. Anyway,
I think it's just a movie called Scarecrow from 2002. I think is what it's supposed to be.
I just don't understand why you wouldn't pick somebody with that's more iconic.
Licensing, probably.
Fuck
Yeah,
licensing. Like they clearly didn't have licensing for Ghostface. That's why the mask is all fucked up. It's not even the mouth's not even curved. Whatever. Fuck this shit. Anyway, and then we got Spectres.
Which I just find the Titan hilarious.
I don't even know what this is. What is that? The Babadook? Like, sorry.
I have no idea either, to be honest.
Yeah. I have no idea, but I love that smile. It is just phenomenal.
It is the Babadook, obviously.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I don't remember his shoulders being that big.
Well, he wasn't a Titan, right? The Babadook wasn't actually a Titan, right? So
Okay. Anyway, and then we got Slenderman. Somebody had mentioned the on Twitter the red armband made him look like a Slenderman must have been a Nazi.
Fuck. Oh, that's horrible.
this doesn't look anything like the.
Well, no,
Forbidden
if you
Transmog.
zoom in on it, that's like very much. It looks like he has a fucking parasite on him.
Yeah, that's fair. But he says that the
From
only thing
far
I
away,
can,
yes, it looks like a Nazi
he
man.
said
but
the
if you
only
zoom
thing I
in-
can see is the suit and the red armband. It's like okay, whatever. And then we got this rose.
It's a wedding
rose-
dress, homie.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was gonna say rose covered wraith. Okay. So it's a wedding dress. I don't know. It's a scorned bride, I guess. So what are you voting for? Tell me.
So this is one of the rare years when they've done this where I like everything. I like all of these. I think they cooked on both sets, personally.
Okay.
So I don't doesn't really matter to me what wins in this case. I think I would prefer to have the slasher Titan just because I want that helmet for PvP. But and I also like the cloak on the hunter. I think that if the cloak ends up being that whole piece that comes down like halfway on the chest, I think that'd be cool for more than just Halloween transmog. But I think these are all cool, personally.
I think for me, Titan, I'm going Spectre. I like the slasher, the Jason. I like the helmet and the chest piece. The gauntlets and legs, I don't really care for, but I like the Spectre set like in its entirety. Both Hunter sets are good. I really don't. I think I prefer the Spectre set. It kind of somewhat reminds me, if the cloak is red, it looks like Slave Knight Gale from Dark Souls 3 a little bit. If the cloak was red and he had like a beard. I like
That
both
cloak
sets.
and helmet will go hard on all the number of different transmogs
Yeah,
as well.
Hunter definitely has the best overall. Just basing it off of both sets. I think Hunter has the best. Then Warlock, I think it's Spectre all the way. If you vote Slasher, there's something wrong with you, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, Slasher's good, but I think Spectre is just way better for Warlock.
I really hope the animation on the Slender Man, the little tentacles, is good and not.
Well, that's what I
janky.
was gonna say. I wonder what these are gonna be like. Like that could make it good and bad, right?
Even if it's stagnant, even if they don't move, I still feel like Spectre is better, just because Slenderman versus whatever the hell Slasher's supposed to be.
Scarecrow.
The only problem I have with the
Pumpkinhead.
Slender Man stuff that they have here is that they used the default glove underlayment model here. Like, give the man some black gloves or some white gloves, whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
No, you're lucky I'm on stream. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, I voted for Jason, Ghostface, and Slenderman. Now that I look at this one more, I'm starting to like it more. So I may regret my vote, but it's whatever. I'm a huge fan of the Scream franchise, even though I think the mask looks fucking not as good as it could. And the rest of the armor makes no fucking sense. I still wanted it because it was Ghostface. Other than that, I don't know. I liked the Jason stuff more than the Babadook. And the Slenderman stuff is fire compared to this fucking Scarecrow.
Dunk.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I love the Titan on Spectre. I mainly just find it hilarious. You have that small head on this massive body, and then you have that creepy smile. It's just funny to me. I don't know why. It's hilarious. I do love the Slasher Hunter. That looks so much better, in my opinion, than the Spectre Hunter. Don't get me wrong. That one's cool too. But Slasher Hunter speaks out to me more. And then yeah, definitely Slenderman.
Yeah.
Definitely Slenderman.
All right, cool stuff.
Although now because of that red band, I kind of want to go for Slasher.
Sorry for bringing it up. I shouldn't have.
Yeah, you're good.
I love talking about Nazis, dude.
Listen,
Yeah.
if you want to put that kind of forbidden transmog on your Warlock, there's already a million different options. All right, you just gotta look at the options available to you. There are more World War II bad guy transmogs for Warlocks than any other class in the game.
Well, yes, because they have an armband.
And they have some coats that you can shade a nice German gray. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. All right. Anyway, back to the TWID. The only thing that was on here that was cool was they're increasing the strange coin cap, and the Osiren and Nightfall Cipher cap. So that's neat.
I like the Nightfall Cipher thing because I think only 10's kind of insane. Granted, I use them probably once a year, but the one time I do use them, it's like, bro, why is there only 10? And then strange coins, I mean, the economy is fine. I only buy I usually end up using about 80 of my 100 or whatever you can have nowadays. When on a weekly trip, which it's it's mostly buying the materials, to be honest. He rarely has an item I actually want, so I just buy the glimmer, the enhancement cores, and then pick up the favor and leave. So I mean, more is nice, but I mean, I don't know. That doesn't really hit really hard for me.
I mean,
Yeah.
I buy all that same stuff too, and then I jump on the Vulpecula slot machine. So.
Oh, do you not have the Shutulu one?
No.
I'm
Zane.
still buying class items from him, so because I'm too lazy to go farm them. And so it's nice. I'll be able to buy 4 right off the bat, as opposed to just 2. So I'm pretty stoked. And almost the same with the Nightfall Cipher. I've had 10 in my inventory for almost ever. I don't use them at all because when I want to go and farm a weapon, I mean, usually I'll play that that week, farm the weapon, and then I'll have gotten the roll. Like, what is one more roll? Like, I don't know.
What do you
I feel
mean?
like-
What is one more roll?
I feel like that's
I-
a deeper rabbit hole because I feel like that's more of a GM problem because like the last GM weapon that was like truly like you have to go get this more than just like an optimization thing was probably Hothead. I mean, when was the last GM weapon that was like really fucking good?
Yeah.
There have been 3 instances where I've been done farming for the day, and I went to turn in my tokens, and Zavala gave me the role I was farming for. I hadn't gotten it until then for Nightfall weapons. All right, so you just
See,
got to believe hard enough. That's all.
I don't stop farming until I have the role I want.
Well, I mean, listen, I got to go to bed because I'm old and I got to get up early for work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there definitely are weapons I'll farm for, right? Like I farmed for Rick Angle because it took me forever to get the role I wanted, but like there isn't like it's not important enough to me to like really remember I even have the Nightfall ciphers because again there hasn't been like a meta defining weapon from Vanguard in a long ass time. So it's like stuff like Rank Angle or like Shadow Price. It's like the best arc auto in the game or the only kinetic slot glaive in the game, so you kind of have to go get it by default. Like, I mean, there's no like edge strands or a Baron action or anything in GMs. It's just again Hothead and really that was it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like if they brought back Palindrome, I'd farm the shit out of that, but that's just because I don't have an OG one.
I do. You suck.
Yeah, I started playing right after they got rid of it.
Actually, I don't even know if I still have one.
I sharded mine a while ago.
Yeah, I got back into the game like right before Season of the Haunted launched, so I wasn't running GMs at the time it was out because that was like the first season of Witch Queen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just missed it. I didn't do my first GM until like halfway through Haunted.
You only started playing during Witch Queen?
I've been playing since D1, like vanilla, like first week of D1, but I took a break from like halfway through Shadowkeep through the entirety of Beyond Light. I took a break just because the game sucked, in my opinion, at the time.
Oh, Shadowkeep was terrible.
Yeah, Beyond Light, like just
Beyond Light was better than Shadowkeep.
Stasis ruined the game for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I could not. Just the thought of being frozen in Destiny, just like, nope, I'm not playing this. And my brother loved it at the time, and he was like basically begging me to like, because he basically kept me updated with the game because he wanted me to play it really bad. So I remember like when he did Day 1 VOG, and like especially when Prophecy launched, he was like, "This dungeon's really good." And I was like, "I don't give a shit. The game sucks." I was basically just being a hater, but I got back into it again during Witch Queen.
Right on.
Imagine not liking a mechanic that prevents you from playing the game.
I know, dude.
You think a dev would have thought of that at some point?
Calm down. You get frozen for like half a millisecond.
When it first launched, no, you didn't.
Yeah, that's true.
That shit was AIDS, bro.
When it first launched,
You can't tell me
frozen
Shattered
to
Dive
die.
Hunters of PvP weren't like the epitome of just like I'm gonna kill
That's all he
myself in
played.
Destiny.
That's all he did. He probably got 90% of his PvP kills during that era with Shatter Dive.
You can't tell me that shit isn't just bullshit, man.
The first couple weeks as a hunter in Crucible during Beyond Light was the most fun I ever had in Crucible. It was the only time I ever went into Crucible for fun. I've never done it any other time for fun. I had so much fun in there. Just fucking killing everybody.
And part of that break for me as well was just also just burnout because I played the game. It was basically the only thing I played during the entirety of Forsaken, and like I pre-ordered Shadowkeep and everything, and just burnout eventually hit, and it Beyond Light came out. It was free on the Game Pass, so I actually did play the campaign. I was like, wow, this shit sucks, and just didn't play it until it was actually the Day 1 Vow race. I was watching that, and it got me back into the game.
Shadowkeep is when I took my break as well. Once sunsetting hit, I was like, peace.
Yeah, my thing was just like the loot wasn't really good. Like even Goss at the time, the loot wasn't really incredible. And like I remember farming for like the what is the public event called on the Min? Altar of Sorrow, right?
Altars of Sorrow.
Yeah, I remember farming for Blasphemer, the slug or whatever shoddy it was, and that was like about it. And the seasonal content sucks as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember. I've never taken a break, obviously, but I don't play it as much as you guys, so that makes it a lot easier to not take a break.
Yeah, I've only took 2 breaks, that big ass one, and then from like Curse of Osiris to really Forsaken Launch, I took another
Okay.
break. But Curse of Osiris, as bad as the game is, or like the player count is now, Curse of Osiris is the lowest point in Destiny's history, in my opinion. That shit was horrible. Because at least now there's stuff to do. Just players like us were out of stuff to do. Curse of Osiris, there was literally nothing to do. Like Heroic Adventures was like the peak of the game at the point.
That isn't that when we got the Zol strike? That's a pretty good strike. I'm just saying.
Yep.
Okay,
That
yeah.
was
So
one-lined.
I've been Curse of Osiris has some of the best strikes the game's ever seen. Everything else sucked cock. Also, we got the worst rate of all time in there. That's another thing.
The worst
Eater
rate of all
of
time
Worlds,
was
Eater of Worlds. You can't tell me otherwise.
Not Eater of Worlds. Why can't I think of the name of it? It's the other one in the Leviathan.
Spire?
No, Spire's awesome.
Then
you're talking about Crown of Sorrow.
Yes, thank you.
You saying Crown's worse than Eater?
Yeah, I fucking hate a Crown though. Man.
You're bugging.
Okay.
It's so boring. All you do is fucking
counter where you kill 2 dropshits of ads and you get loot. You can't roll what?
Okay, that's literally the first encounter of Crown is just killing ads. It's the same
boring
thing.
As shit, yeah. It was 17,000 years long, but at least it was some sort of mechanic tied to it.
Oh yeah, go stand on a thing. Go stand on a plate and
Eater had 1 cool encounter, which was Argos. Crown had 2, which was Galron and Galron's Deception. So by that math, boom, Crown wins.
That does not count. That is one encounter. That is one encounter.
You get loot for both.
You get loot for both Argos encounters.
Bro, what? It's one. No.
No, there's 2 encounters in that space.
Was there? I don't remember that.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's taking down the shield, and then there's the actual.
Then the actual fight. Yeah.
Well, Crown wins because I said so. So.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
It's Spire of Stars for me.
Okay. First of all,
Spire
of Stars was a great raid. I don't know what you're talking about.
Spires was much fun.
I had a very small group of friends at the time that played the game. This is before I was involved with any clan. And we all sucked dick.
Oh, okay.
And could not. I never got a clear of Spire Stars because we could never. We could get to the final part where you're passing the ball around and shooting up to space to throw balls at ships, but we could never finish it.
Oh damn, that shit was so much fun. I remember when they talked about bringing in Prestige Spire, and we were all like, yeah. They're like, oh, it's just gonna be modifiers, and they're gonna be different everywhere. We're like, oh no, that's terrible. Because Prestige Leviathan was awesome, so we were expecting something awesome, and then we didn't get anything awesome. That was big sad.
I think Leviathan is the most
careful
overhyped raid in the entire game. Personally,
Prestige Leviathan is the best raid in the entire game.
Nah, I don't think so.
Hands down, easily.
At what time though? Because like now, no, but like at what point in the game?
Well, I mean, obviously, I guess launch.
Well, that's the only raid, dickhead.
No, Prestige Leviathan is. I still have the most clears in that raid than any other raid.
I think the best raid in the game
fun
for me, my opinion, is and has always been Last Wish. It's always been my favorite raid.
Last Wish is a great raid. I have like 112 clears in that raid now, which I'm really happy about. So much fun, and Riven legit is so much fun.
Wish is number 2 for me.
I'll give it a little bit more credit now that I've done Riven legit, because before that raid wasn't that much fun for me. Queen's Walk is boring. After like the mechanics for Vault was figured out, like Vault is so fucking long and not interesting. Like you're not doing anything anymore. All you're doing is, now that everybody knows what the birds and the penumbras and the atumbras and all that dog shit means, like all you're doing is clearing ads and waiting for 27 fucking minutes. And then
Greener's just tired of getting peed on over on rocks. That's the problem.
I don't even know what that means, but okay. Do people pee on you on rocks?
If you're penumbra, yeah, it's pee on rocks. Pee on rocks,
Okay.
ants on trees. Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Or
Yeah,
if somebody's standing there who you know, you're pee on Greener.
I've never heard that. Yeah. FYI. Anyway, and then recently during Pantheon, I did Riven Legit, and I was like, oh shit, this is actually a really fun encounter. That sucks. But anyway, so that's why I still think Leviathan's better. And I would be, I don't know. I thought Salvation's Edge was really good, but after a while, I'm just like, the first 3 encounters are the exact same fucking thing. And then Shore Verity was really cool, but
Yeah,
I
I
don't know.
think my top 3 raids of all time, right? Number 3, Edge. Number 2, Wish. Number 1, Wrath of the Machine. If we're including D1 raids, Wrath is the best raid ever made. Riven Legit is the best encounter ever made, though. I will give you that. But Wrath, in my opinion, has 0 bad encounters. The raid's good all the way through. Kali and Morgith aren't very good in Wish. That's the only reason it's not the best raid ever.
Yeah.
Wrath has good encounters, and its traversal sections are not overly long. Salvation's Edge would be a lot better if there wasn't an hour of running around.
If Edge's first encounter was better and third encounter either was better or didn't exist entirely, it would probably be the best raid ever. But first encounter's a little too boring, and third just doesn't need to exist, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, first and third they're basically the same thing.
Third, even on day 1, felt just like the third encounter of Vow, but worse. And then first encounter, it's a cool intro because it introduces you to the plates, but again, it can just be better.
Yeah.
It is super fun on Master or day 1 though, because of the just everything being harder. It's super fun, but in normal mode, yeah, it's way too easy. But Herald, Verity, and Witness are all S tier encounters. Just first and third drag the raid down, and the traversals as well are way too long.
All right. I like Vow the Disciple too. It's a good raid.
Yeah,
That probably
that
went number 4.
Great raid.
I really like remembering all of the names for all of the icons. I know that sounds stupid, but
Have you done a Vow with Bebo?
It happened on stream.
Yeah.
Listen, I've got fucked up call outs too, but they at least are related to whatever it is you're looking at.
I've got 4 different pages of vault callouts for Last Wish.
I'm totally cool if somebody wants to make up things, but they got to make sense. Like if I've never heard of your list and you say something, I've got to be able to associate it with whatever the icon is. But if I can't, then I don't know. What are you doing?
If I'm in Vow and I call out Cade's dead, everybody knows it's going to be the blue guy with a hole in his chest. All right.
Yep.
Or if I call fucked up Africa, you're probably, if you see Black Heart, you're going to know that's kind of sort of Africa. It's fucked up Africa. All right.
I occasionally slip up and call Worship Kanye West.
Okay. See, I will just make funny location callouts, like in King's Fall for each of the plates. I'll do California, Washington, New York, and Florida, just to mess with everyone. I'll also just do dogs, axes, chalice, and what's the other one?
You're one of those guys.
Yeah.
For the Vault and Last Wish, me, Geico, and Grim made SGC related ones at 3 in the morning one night, and I still occasionally pull them out. My favorite one is the dead dragon with the spear in its neck.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We call that one Good Saint's Mom. It's my favorite call out.
Okay.
That's a joke 10 people will get.
I'm just damn. I knew he hated.
All I know.
I knew he hated his mother-in-law, but not his mom. No,
All
I
I
don't get
know
it.
is that if I'm in a raid with somebody like Bebo, the last thing I want to hear is Skibbity, Ohio. That's one of the call-outs, all right?
Well, you'll hear it. It's Bevo after all.
Was Good Saint's mom murdered? I'm just
I
curious.
know she's dead. I don't know. That shit was so long ago, man.
Did she die with a javelin to the throat?
I don't know. Like it's a dead
Imagine.
dragon, so we call it Good Saint's mom. I don't know what you want me to tell you.
We all find out that Good Saint fucking murdered her by jabbing a fucking spear through her neck. And we're all just saying Good Saint's mom like it's hilarious. Ha 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 ha. He's legit.
We
a
appreciate
fucking,
dark humor here at the Shrouded gaming community. Smile.
I don't know if I'd make a joke about someone being a murderer.
Making a joke about someone who left the community like a year and a half ago.
That too. No, I'm fine with making jokes about people that leave. That's the best. That's the most fun of it. We used to make fun of tons of people that left because so many people leave and then they talk shit about us. And it's like, you know what? We don't do too much bad things. Stop talking shit.
Yeah,
bro.
My favorite is joining their servers that they make, and then that's completely dead, and it's kind of funny to see how dead it is.
I'm not
The
gonna
best
lie.
is when they're more active on the SGC server still than they are on their own server.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That always feels good when sometimes when they come back or when you go and you look at their profile. Because I definitely creep people from time to time to see how they're doing, and they just haven't played Destiny in like 8 months, and I'm like, that's what you get, you motherfucker.
I enjoy meeting some of them in PvP and then killing them and then getting my whole group to go teabag them.
Nice. Maybe we are terrible people. Maybe they
Maybe they got a point.
Maybe there's something to their shit talking. No. Overall, though, like I've definitely seen like reports back from like certain ones of these communities that just totally just making shit up to make themselves seem like the better people, and it's just like, whoa, that's really weird. Why would you even say things like that? Strange. I don't get it. Do you get it? Do you lie about people just for funsies?
No.
No.
I mean, they would say that a lot of the things are lying, but you know, I still have all the DMs that show exactly whatever transpired.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not a very confrontational person. If it's up to me, I would rather just play the game and not have to really worry about anything. But you know,
That's
still
fair.
occasionally it does pop up where I have to be confrontational. I just don't really like it much.
Don't become an admin or anything higher than that. You have to deal with that kind of shit all the time.
Might have to deal with it as a lead Sherpa if one of your Sherpas gets out of hand.
But yeah, like when I have to do it, I'll do it. But like I'm
Yeah,
not gonna go out of my way. I don't like stepping out of my way to do shit like that. I'd rather just like tell Hoppy about it and have him do it.
I'll do it. I don't care. I don't, but I'll do it.
I love dealing with that shit. You can send it to me any day of the week.
Yeah.
Oh, splendid.
No. Don't send it to Rick.
I just don't got practice. Maybe I need more practice. Maybe that's my issue. Maybe I should start causing fights intentionally just to get practice.
I love dealing with drama. It's
Nah,
my favorite thing.
You need to chill. Keep your health in line. That stuff causes stress on your heart.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Imagine it's fucking SGC drama that finally does me in.
That'd be
I'm
pretty
DMing
funny.
Greener from the
But,
hospital. Listen, I was talking to this knob, and this is what was saying, and then I felt a pain in my chest, and now I'm dying, and it's your fucking fault. If you don't hear from me again, you killed me.
I wouldn't even feel bad.
It's a crazy way to win an argument. You're just like, listen to
I
their
still
rebuttal, and
have
they
your
just fucking
boots,
die.
motherfucker.
I'll literally just call your wife and be like, "Can you send me those boots, please?" And she'd be like, "Are you even gonna say sorry?" I'm like, "Just send me the boots, and then I'll send you a card."
SGC discount card at the store.
Could you imagine?
The fucking hoodie's $30 instead of $45 now. Congrats.
Holy shit, that'd be brutal.
just
You can
has
buy-
on the just a special hoodie. It just says right on the front, "Wrecked has been killed by the architects."
You can buy the Shrouded racist merch drop now.
Wild. All right. Yeah. All right.
We've covered the twit, homie.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else on there. So, anything else to talk about?
Now, listen. Anything else to talk about? Mute, coughing his guts out, coughing his lungs out.
I might
just-
try Marvel Rivals tonight. What should I? What character should I play? Rick.
The Invisible Woman.
Have you played hero shooters before? Thunder?
Make sure to get her skin.
I actually did esports for Overwatch like last semester.
Okay.
So yeah.
So do you prefer tank, DPS, or healer?
I just kind of played whatever the team needed, so they had me basically doing mostly healer, but I also occasionally played assault or DPS if they needed me to.
So, Invisible Woman is the new character, and she's pretty cracked. She's a new strategist, so she's a healer. Luna Snow, Mantis, Cloak and Dagger. That group give you plenty of healers to flex on if you want to play. Most of the DPS characters are easy to just pick up and play. There's not, except for the dive ones, there's not a whole lot of learning curve. The tanks, I think, are actually the hardest ones to play. If you go that route, can't go wrong just starting with Hulk.
Okay. Is Thor hard to play?
Thor is like he's like a hybrid DPS. He's more of a DPS character than a tank. He's got like the lowest amount of hit points of any of the tanks, but he does a lot of damage. So you can't stay in the fight as long as him. You gotta be more aware of your HP to get back out to your supports. But
so probably not a good like starting character.
I mean, you can be successful with any of them in the ranks you're going to be starting out at, right? Because you can't even play comp until you hit level 10. So
yeah, I installed the game like a week ago and haven't opened it. I might open it tonight.
So you can be successful. The good thing about characters like Thor is that you know they're never going to be banned if you get into higher comp ranks, because they're not good enough to be banned. So
that's my thing with when I played Siege, is I was a Jackal main, and Jackal gets banned in every single ranked game ever played in that game.
If you play one of the less popular characters and you feel like you want a one trick, then Thor is not a bad choice.
All right.
Cool. I have Marvel Rivals, but I'm probably never going to play it.
I mean, we're going to do an SGC event around it at some point here in the future. Probably. If we get enough people, if we get a sufficient amount of people for this fall, guys, we're up to 15, by the way.
That's good.
I know there's two like good players in Marvel Rivals and the SGC, and they're both in Souls.
They're not allowed to play in the tournament.
Grim was just asking me when that tournament was going to happen today. He just sent me a note today.
Yeah,
asking.
I think Grim is like Diamond 1 or 2, and then Dreamer is whatever the next rank is, like Grandmaster 1 or whatever the next one is after Diamond.
Yeah.
I just don't have enough time. I don't have enough time.
That's all right. There's yours for everybody.
Oh, I platinum last weekend before I got sick. I platinumed Wukong, so I could say I platinumed both Astrobot and Wukong, and nobody could argue that I didn't play either one of them enough. And I can confirm that Astrobot is still a better game. In fact, it's even better now than it was before last week. Because it took me less than 30 hours to play in Platinum Astrobot. It took me 70 hours to play in Platinum Wukong. That's too many hours in a video game. I don't like it. I should be able to do 100% of what's in your game in under 40 hours. Okay?
Yeah. I might have a PS4 shipped to me soon to play a bunch of PlayStation games I've wanted to play for a while. I had a PS4 back in the day, but it was like the first like bunch they shipped out. So of course, like every initial console launch is just bad. So my PS4 like had an issue where like it just spit out my disc after a couple hours, but after about a week, it would do it like every 5 minutes. So I just traded it in for an Xbox, and I've been on Xbox since.
I still have mine. About a minute 30 seconds after you turn it on, it starts to sound like a Harrier jump jet getting ready to take off from an aircraft carrier. So
That's every PS4 though.
I don't turn it. No. Like if it's in my bedroom, it's in my master bedroom.
Yeah.
If I'm on the other side of the house in my office right now with headphones on, if it was on right now, I'd be able to hear that engine, that jet taking off in my office. It is so loud.
It's loud. Yeah. All right. Anyway,
That's awesome.
those things were loud as fuck. Anyway, no. Yeah, I just wanted to put the time into it and see if there was something that I was missing about like why it sold so many copies, or why people were just like so mad that it didn't win Game of the Year. And it's just, I don't know, it's not there. Like
What,
I'd
Wukong?
still, yeah.
I think it's just because of the hype around it, because it was in development for like years and years. Kind of like The Last Guardian when that first launched. That shit was in development for like 18 decades.
Yeah.
I stopped caring about anything the community gets mad about in general. The gaming community has just gotten more and more, more and more toxic. I'm not even
feel like
talking about a specific group of people. Like the discourse around games has just gotten so bad that I just don't even listen to anybody anymore. That I
I
don't
feel like
know.
it's just the internet, man. Like any type of like entertainment like that. Like if you don't like something they like, they just think you're a fucking Nazi or some shit, dude. Or it's like if you don't like this certain thing, you're just like a weirdo. It's like it's almost like a crime to just like the stuff you like nowadays. It's super weird.
I actually had somebody unfriend me on one of my social medias today because they were on this old people's social media Facebook. They were talking about how Blue Sky is so much better than Twitter, and I came out and I was like, bro, Blue Sky is exactly the same as Twitter. I see all of the same toxic bullshit. It's just the people on there have a blue color instead of a red color behind them that are the most toxic. And the dude lost his shit on me and then unfriended me.
Yeah, having your own
And I was
opinion
like,
nowadays seems to be like
case in
not really
fucking
cool.
point.
To be fair, I'm gonna play devil's advocate on that, because I am on Blue Sky and Twitter, and while Blue Sky isn't it doesn't have nearly as much content and the algorithm's not that good, I do see a lot less negativity on there. Just saying.
No.
You know,
I know what you mean by toxic based on side or whatever, but I when I first got over there, it was in the throes of the election, and it was super left-sided toxism, just for like weeks and weeks and weeks, and I was like, shit, this is not any better than Twitter. It's just the opposite, just like you said, the opposite side. But after the election stuff calmed down, like I do find it a lot more. I find a hard time to be on Twitter nowadays. I can scroll on Blue Sky without like wanting to kill myself now. So,
I mean, it also depends on what parts of Twitter you're on, to be fair, because I use Twitter for like football news and like Destiny news. Really, that's it. I like do maybe a 5-minute scroll every day, then close it for the rest of the day.
To be fair, you're totally right. Just real quick, because recently, like, I was getting so overwhelmed with Twitter that I decided to just do a little quick swipe to, instead of like recommended, to just the people that I'm following, and my following like timeline is so much better than the algorithm gives me, because it's just people that I want to hear from, and it's I don't know, it's really good.
And there's definitely like good Twitter community, or I mean good, like not horrible Twitter communities, and then like really bad ones. Like music Twitter is fucking awful. I cannot stand music Twitter at all, because it's very much either you like this artist and you're cool, or you don't like them and you're a Nazi. Like there's no in between. But then and mostly sports Twitter, like NBA specifically. Also, NBA's Twitter is really really funny, and NFL's is also pretty good. But yeah, music Twitter's absolutely horrible.
My problem with with Twitter specific. My problem with social media in general is that it breeds echo chambers, and echo chambers, people being involved in echo chambers for any significant length of time just fucking warps their brain, warps their worldview, kills fucking critical thought, and turns them into little fucking angry gremlins. But whenever they talk to anybody that has an alternate opinion, but Twitter specifically, like when you're scrolling, if you're like just doom scrolling, like your For You on Twitter, and you pause to just look at like one video, it was like, what is that? And it's not something, it turns out to be something you really didn't want to see. Because you stopped and let that thing play, that's all your shit gets turned into for like ever. I fucking hate it. No matter how many of them you're like, I'm not interested in this shit. Please make it go away. It's always fucking there from then on. I really hate how its algorithm tries to like corrupt what you're curating. And I just don't have the energy to go follow a bunch of certain people and go find them. Right.
YouTube kind of does the same thing. I'll watch like one video about some random topic on YouTube, and it'll be like all my recommended is for like a week. Like I don't really care.
Yeah, it's really tough, actually. I find that like I'll see something that really pisses me off, and I'll interact with it to see like what the comments are, and to see if like, and then I'm like, oh no, I shouldn't have done that, because then like my next reload of my timeline is just like all the things that I hate, and I'm like, I hate this stuff. But anyway, yeah, I've been leaving the Discover tab a lot more recently and just going to my following tab, and it's a lot more refreshing.
Yeah,
I find. Yeah. The Discover tab's the devil. Don't let Twitter tell you what to read, man, and just like get out of there. Read some other shit. It's brutal.
It just makes me hate people more. That's all. And
Yeah.
make me feel like I just need to stay in my house more often because these people actually exist out there.
Yep. All right. I don't know even what we're talking about anymore. So
Twitter.
We're way off. We're way off.
Yeah.
We're way off the reservation.
Way off course.
Let's
way
do
off
some
the
plugs.
I mean, it is a
Get the
podcast.
hell
To
outta
be
here.
fair, it's kind of the whole point is we talk about random shit for an hour and make money.
We don't make money off this podcast, but thanks. That'd be
We
awesome.
draw in people to maybe potentially give us money.
Hey, the SGC is doing a Fall Guys tournament on January 25th. We are giving away 5,000 loyalty points for every person that signs up, but that amount will be given to everybody. We're currently at 15 people, so that's 75,000 loyalty points to everybody that shows up to participate.
Oh.
Sign-up forms are the link is available on the SGC server in the announcements channel. So go sign up, and we would love to see you out there on January 25th at 1:00 p.m. Eastern. More the merrier. Up to like, I don't know, what is it, 32 people or 40 people?
40.
Like, yeah, that can play at one time. So I would really like to get up to like 24. Like if we could hit like 24, that would be perfect. And will really encourage me to have more events that are not Destiny related in the SGC. There you go.
I don't have anything to talk about this week. I can't think of anything that I'm doing that's special. There's no stream this weekend. I'm sick. I do have to do the weekly winners. That's right.
Doublito wants a silver.
He didn't win silver. The 2300 weekly silver winner this week is Ooga Booga. And the SGC T-shirt this week goes to Doublito. Congratulations. You won something. Woo. Other people buy tickets, so Devil stops winning all the time. He bought like 5,000 tickets, and one other person bought one batch of 100. Nobody else bought any. I know you hate my T-shirts, bro. Why you hate me? We might have to switch back to silver again for both giveaways. Anyway, just DM me, AGreener, in Discord. I'll tell you how to claim your prize. And if you're interested in winning silver or SGC merch, you can check out How to do so in our Discord at shroudedgaming.com/Discord. Again, shroudedgaming.com/Discord. We're a big Destiny community, but we play other stuff from time to time. So come check us out. That's it. That's all I got. Anyone else got anything? I'm dying.
I got nothing.
Okay, cool.
Thunder stream sometimes. Maybe he wants to plug his stream.
I don't know.
Yeah, official _ Thunder on Twitch. Go watch EP. Thanks.
It's right.
I jumped on there the other day when he was streaming, and it said there was one person. I was like, I surely can't be the only person.
Well, actually, the one person was probably me on my overlay. So
Okay, all right.
I'm really inconsistent. So like, there's barely anybody. Like occasionally, like Rice or somebody will hop in and just kind of say hey, but I'm just really inconsistent. I stream like maybe once or twice a week.
Yeah.
Especially was like I only stream when I feel like it's like interesting content. So like I probably should be streaming when I'm like just kind of doing random shit. But I don't know, like just doing like a dungeon or a raid real quick and then getting off doesn't really seem like like content I should really be streaming.
I hear that. People tell me why. Like I'll be playing. Like I'm gonna hop on. I'm gonna play like I don't know an hour of seasonal content or something stupid or I don't know. Fucking know. Fuck onslaughts or something, and they're like, "Why aren't you streaming?" And I'm like, "I don't fucking know."
Yeah.
Why would I stream? I'm gonna be doing this for like 45 minutes, and then I'm gonna go, I don't know, eat a burger and hang out with my son, and then come back in an hour and play 2 more. Like
Maybe
I'm
I'll
not
stream my
consistent.
Marvel Rivals comp grind for the new season. People can watch my mediocre gameplay while I continually bitch about how bad my teammates are.
Yeah. Also, I even just Destiny is like a month or so ago. I did my first Dark Souls 3 playthrough, and I didn't stream any of it. I don't know why. That would have been perfect content, but I don't know. Didn't bother fucking booting it all up. I couldn't tell you why.
I mean, I did all the Shadow of the Erd Tree. I streamed the whole thing.
Yeah.
In December, and it was fun. I guess.
I need to just get in the habit of like just streaming every time I'm on, like Bebo does. He just kind of streams whenever he's just on the game in general. I got to start doing that.
I used to do that a lot more a long time ago. Not so much recently, but back in the day, I used to do that. Back when nobody watched me, though. So this is weird. There's people now that will come to the stream and I don't stream.
Yeah.
But back then, nobody would watch and I'd stream for like 8 hours a day.
Do you remember when Mixer was around?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my thing is also I rarely play like popular games. I'm always playing something like Destiny, right? I streamed the Assassin's Creed the Ezio collection for it was like I think 12 hours, either 12 or 15 hours straight, and not a single person like stopped by. It was at 0 views the whole time.
That's crazy. Yeah, I used to stream a lot of Arma 3 and DayZ back in the day. Yeah, for hours and hours and hours. Good times. All right. Thanks for watching episode 92 this week at Shrouded. I was your host, AGreener. Thanks to Thunder. Thanks to Dunk. Thanks to Misterwrecked for being here. Appreciate it, you guys.
Ciao.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.